Hello everybody, my name is Jake, aka Korean Jew Trading, or KJ for short, and in this video I'm going to be going over 5 reasons I believe right now is a perfect time to start buying crypto. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button now, smash it right now so that you don't forget, because I'm going to try to go through these as rapidly as possible, but I think this is important stuff. Great time to get involved. If you want to start trading crypto, make sure to use my referral links. Those are in my bio. You can try BYBIT or MEXC for altcoins. But yeah, let's do it. Let's get right into it. Okay, number 1 is the technical analysis of Bitcoin itself. And you know, while I do understand we broke below its previous all-time high, something very well publicized that has never happened before in Bitcoin, I think that we're still in a very strong area to definitely start loading up. One of the things you can see also here that's clear as day, and this is Coinbase's exchange, but the volume in this capitulation candle is extremely high, some of the highest ever across the board. And this means that the most people were selling. So typically, you know, when you see a volume spike like that in either direction at a key level, you kind of want to go the opposite way of the crowd. Now, I understand, yes, it did break below 20K. However, being that it was so very highly publicized, people were asking me about this, what I thought about it. You know, at the end of the day, you are below the 200 daily moving average on the weekly, and we've never really spent any significant time below this. So my expectation is that we will eventually, if you look at what's happening right now, I think we will be popping back up to around this level right here. So squeezing shorts out, you have these candle closes right here, somewhere in that area. And then when you flip back to the weekly, you can see it coincides right with the 200 weekly moving average. I would expect that to serve as a resistance on the first pass. So if you're not in at this second, it's not a need to rush. You can start to kind of dabble a little bit, but you don't need to go all in right now. Typically with a move like this, you're going to get some sort of consolidation range. And then when it breaks above, you're then again bullish. So like if you look back to 2018 and 19, even when the last bear market, what that recovery looked like is this. Okay, so here's that 200 weekly moving average. It's acting as support in this instance, but you spend a good 12 weeks down here before it ends up being bullish. So we've been here for 3 weeks now. We've been in a heavy bear market. This is a 75% retrace. You've never lost money buying Bitcoin after it retraces 70%. So just when I'm looking at what's going on the charts, yes, I understand this is a nasty looking structure. It's quite bearish, but we seem to be gaining footing here. And yeah, I think this area is starting to make a lot of sense. So let's move on to number 2. Okay, number 2, it's very simple. The big players are wrecked. I spoke to somebody back in April. This person was looking to start a mining business, and we were in kind of like a bearish, it was bearish in April as well, and looking very suspect. And I told him, you know, I love the idea, but you want to wait till there's truly blood in the streets. You want to see big players capitulating, being forced to sell, distress selling. You want to see mining companies going under. You want to see all sorts of chaos going on in the space, as well as other markets, most likely. And once that happens, you'll feel it. It'll be palpable. And guess what? We got it. We got Luna going under. This is close to $100 billion worth of value being wiped out. And that created the contagion effect, which took out 3AC, the largest crypto fund. After that, you have even more trickle-down effects as far as, you know, Celsius, Babel, BlockFi, Voyager now. There's a lot of big players going under or have already gone and being forced to distress sell. And typically, when this type of thing happens, it creates a lot of fear in the market, which opens up an opportunity for you to become an investor again. You know, I was on an interview of Cointelegraph, and Jed, the interviewer, asked me a really interesting question. He said, what would you say to somebody getting into crypto today? This was a week ago. And I would say, wow, this person got into crypto today. It's a scary time to get in. So I would say congratulations, because you have all these huge entities being absolutely destroyed. And at the same time, you're that guy that you're buying the fear. I think you have a way better chance of succeeding if you're in this position as opposed to buying at, when most normal people buy, which would be highs, right? Most people end up buying the top. So if you're buying now, I think you're in the driver's seat compared to where you could be. As well as the other part to people being wrecked is it really kind of reminds me of like 2008 subprime crisis where Bear Stearns, the Lehman Brothers, these guys went under, and things. It looked like the world was ending. Obama had just gotten into office, and Obama went for a bailout. And I remember at the time, I mean, this is literally when Bitcoin was created. People were upset. How let the rich die? I never got a bailout. How are we giving them money to support this market? But when you look at what the charts did from that point on, I mean, stocks have been up only up until recently, but the run from that bailout was extremely it was about 10 years of upside. Okay, so now you have Sam Bankman-Fried, owner of FTX, saying he's going to start supporting the crypto market in the form of a bailout. Now, he did only say $2 billion, but the game is to be sold, not told, okay? Just because he says he has $2 billion doesn't mean that's the extent of his war chest. It could also mean he's not selling anymore. When a big player like that speaks up and talks about bailout, you have to pay attention. So the combination of these big players being wrecked, as well as now we're having talks of a bailout, is the number 2 point. Big players wrecked, bailout, super bullish in my opinion. Number 3 is legacy markets, stocks. I am not a believer that Bitcoin and crypto is separate from this. I feel like if stocks are in a risk atmosphere, so will Bitcoin. Bitcoin and crypto is even more risky. So I would not expect us to have any extended growth or success without stocks doing the same. And most traders, like everybody's kind of looking at this level. This is a 200 weekly MA. On SPY, it's about around 350. And, I'm not certain we touch it. We could actually go below it and hang out a little bit below this line to really scare people. But it is possible that we front run it. All in all, when I'm looking at indexes, we're getting very, very close to areas of serious support. And when I start to look at the tech stocks that I like, such as Palantir, CRISPR, even PayPal looks okay. But like, for instance, Palantir is, it stop ran their original listing. And I think you had Kathy Wood capitulate right in here, back to big players being wrecked. And now looking at it, it's getting very close to bullish, in fact. And if we're able to structure out and hold above like $11, this has major upside. So that's a separate video because there's an interesting fractal between Palantir and something else that I think is extremely relevant. But I'm like uber bullish on Palantir, but it's not just Palantir. There's a lot of stocks that are showing potential for a reversal. So if these reversals are going to manifest, it could take some time, but it certainly looks like these are in good areas to start taking some risks. Stuff like CRISPR, Palantir, Peloton, even Netflix. I fucking hate them. But, these stocks, if these are able to reverse, that would imply as well that crypto is going to reverse soon also. So, yeah, I think stocks are kind of pointing us in the right direction. These cannot manifest into reversals and recovery bull trends without crypto following suit. So that's an important note. Let's move on to number 4. Okay, so number 4 is actually Bitcoin dominance. Now, it's not the typical BTC.D chart that I've been using because I noticed that on June 12th, when Bitcoin was capitulating, this started to dump actually. And price didn't actually reflect what that meant. So Bitcoin dominance is basically taking it's a ratio between what percentage of the total market cap of crypto is owned by Bitcoin. So typically when this is bearish, that would imply risk is on because people are that comfortable selling their Bitcoin to buy altcoins. But the key problem with this chart now, and why I don't use it in this form anymore, is it didn't take into account the fact that people were selling into stable coins like USDT and USDC. So people were selling their Bitcoin as well as their alts into Tether and other stables, and it created the illusion that this was, showing strength in altcoins, when in reality, it was just money essentially leaving crypto into the form of stables. So what we did was, my friend Stillman kind of guided me with this. We added USDT.D and USDC.D, and it gives a very clear picture of what's happening, more so than BTC.D. So originally back in 2021, I'm looking for this level, which when this breaks down, it creates a bull run for alts. So when it went from like 65 to 40 on the other chart, this is an insane bull run for alts. And as it's happening, I'm saying to myself, hey, we're not in a bear market yet, but eventually it will come. And when it does, the bottom of that bear market will have to retest this area in a fashion, meaning people will have to sell their Bitcoin for alts while Bitcoin is bearish versus US dollar. And this will mean that alts will be double wrecked. And if you look at the charts, it's kind of obvious that that did happen. But when I'm looking at BTCD, it's doing something different. So I was very confused. But once I loaded this new chart, it showed that this move in early June came very, very close to the neckline, to the area where I felt like, you should start taking risk on alts. Now, does this have the potential to go a little bit higher? Yes, but ultimately I feel that this will always be in a bear market due to the amount of new projects, innovation, plus the fact that regular people are priced out of Bitcoin. A normal person can't afford a $20,000 Bitcoin. They're looking to, when people do crypto, they want to make life-changing money. I mean, that's what everybody's looking for here. So I find that this will continue to be bearish. So can it go higher? Yes. If this is not the high, I think we can go between like 66 and 68. And then that would be like your ultimate call to buy alts. But it is quite possible that this was it, and this ends up becoming bearish now. So I think that's also a good reason, reason number four to be buying crypto now. So number 5, this one is something that people attempt to do but are somewhat unsuccessful. And when it's staring you right in the face, nobody really recognizes it. But it's sentiment. Sentiment. You want to do the opposite of the crowd. And if you're on crypto Twitter, it's not hard to see that people are pretty bearish right now. If you want interaction, make a bearish tweet. You'll get a ton of likes. If you make a bullish tweet, you'll get a bunch of reply guys saying you're an idiot, So this type of stuff is important, but really good sentiment, you don't need to really look for it on Twitter. It comes to you in real life. And I don't know about you, but the weekend that Bitcoin was breaking below 20K and it hit about 17.5, I got 3 phone calls from family members asking if I was okay. And saying things like, I hear a recession's coming. My wife brought up Cardi B says a recession's coming. And when I start to see that, I have to pay very, very close attention, okay? The same way when Bitcoin's breaking 70K or 60K, people are calling you saying, how can I buy? When the bottom is in, you also get those phone calls. So I believe that the sentiment is ripe for a reversal. This is exactly what you want at the bottom, okay? So that's it, folks. The 5 reasons on why I think you should be buying crypto right now. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to throw me a like. Let me get some likes, subscribe. I want to do more content for you, and I'm excited. I have a bunch of ideas. KJ is not going away, okay? I think this is a great time to really start to get involved with crypto if you haven't already, or if you've went to cash and sold, now's the time to come back, start paying attention again, because things can heat up quickly. And I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity in the upcoming years. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Everyone trade safe and have a good day.